This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services. This is Emma.
And Zorric.
Host of the Date Podcast. We're so excited to do another show for you. We have a thought-provoking topic we want to discuss. And we have a guest today. We have Mercedes Jackson, who is the writer of The Better Half Draft.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. Hey, Zorric, have you ever had a lady, not friend, but
a lady... Maybe.
A lady that you've been on like a date or two or talked to on Tinder and there wasn't that chemistry, or maybe she like stopped ignoring you and then boom, all of a sudden like she came back to you.
Yeah.
You've had that happen?
That's happened before. And I've been on the other side too.
Oh, will you come back from the grave?
Yeah. Desperate.
Creeper.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Embarrassing. But first, we'd like to ask for your help. We're a new podcast, Emma? Or are we not a new podcast?
I feel like we're old now. We're in our 30s.
Our 30s. We're millennials still. We're available on iTunes and Google Play. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Hopefully, a kick butt review. Also, tell your friends about the podcast. We appreciate your feedback and support. If you have any questions, comments, or show topics you'd like for us to discuss, you can drop us a note at hello@datepodcast.com or on @datepodcast on Instagram and
Twitter.
Okay, so I have something, Emma.
Oh my gosh, what do you have for me? Confessions never mind, I can't say his name.
Mercedes, I've been living a lie this whole time.
Oh no.
I thought I was in the Generation X bracket. You guys have heard me on the show talk about this.
Yes, because you are like, I'm such an old man, and then I like vote that you are.
But I'm actually a millennial too. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like the crowd is going wild, or they might be just booing at the same time because I was living a lie. It was just crazy. But so I found this article. It's called "Defining Generations: Where Millennials End and Post-Millennials Begin," from the Pew Research Center. So this should be legit.
I disagree because I don't think that anyone that was born in the 90s should be considered a millennial.
Why not?
Because
80s, you mean?
No, anyone that's born in the 90s should not be considered a millennial.
Okay.
Because they grew up like 80s, like us born in the 80s, like 87, which was my year. Like we're just like more legit. Like we were like truly, I feel, the last generation that got to grow up without technology in the palm of our hands. I feel like the 90s people generation did grow up with more technology in their hands.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
So I grew up in that generation where you heard things like that. Remember that?
Yes.
Mercedes, you know that?
No.
No. Oh.
Mercedes, like, I was born in the 90s. I was born in the 90s, okay?
Or you heard things like this. Do you know what that is, Emma?
It's a typewriter. I used to have them.
I had one too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What was my mom
sound?
The first one was a
It's
modem.
the internet connecting.
That's how you connect to the internet back in the day.
That's what the fax machine does now.
That's tame. Mine was like screechy.
Oh, okay, maybe it was a different one. But do you guys remember this sound?
Yes.
That's kind of recent too.
They brought it back.
They brought it back, and then here we are today.
Apple.
Millennials. Okay, so I just wanted to confess that I've been lying. That
I'm going to find another article that debunks this just so I can make you feel like an old man.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Ruining his rebirth.
I know.
I am going to crush all of your dreams.
Please.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. Keep crushing my dreams.
I hate you so much when you do that. Like, I hate you so much. I do not
Oh,
appreciate
oh, come on.
when you use that theme on me.
Lighten up a little bit, okay?
No. Hence
Okay.
why I'm disproving that you're a millennial.
Okay, let's move on. So Mercedes is here.
Yay,
Hello.
Mercedes is here. I'm excited because, I like your blog, The Better Half Draft.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like, how did that come about? Like, how
What
did you
was my
decide to write the
birth?
blog?
So I started like actively dating about 3 years ago.
How long have you been single before that?
Last relationship was 2013.
I
So
can't
5
do math.
years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been single for 5 years. So I was like, I've had some disasters happen and then I've had some really great dates. So why not write about it? Because writing is pretty much my therapy. So how I get through life, everyday life, my dates, I write about them. So
So have you always been a writer?
I have.
Oh.
Since birth. I wrote my first book in 2nd grade called The Dinosaur and Me.
No way.
What?
First place.
Oh my god.
Do your parents have a copy?
They do. It's in the photo
Nice.
album with my first place sticker on the front.
Nice. So since you were a kid, you knew that you wanted to be a writer, or you just had that itch to. Did you write notes to boys?
No, I was
No?
afraid of boys.
Oh, you
Boys
were?
didn't like me until I became a woman.
Oh. Until you, I guess, became your own person, right?
Yes, they didn't notice me. I was that nerdy girl.
Like what age was it? Like college or high school?
Well, I began to change maybe about 17.
Oh, okay.
But like men double takes,
Like,
probably like
oh.
23.
Yeah. Nice. So the blog, you write every day, every week.
No, well, see, my writing is all over the place. So like I have notes everywhere of like things that just hit me. So I'll write about it then. When I first started the blog, I wrote every week, but
Yeah.
I've been a little lazy. So like every 3 weeks.
I gotcha.
Okay, not too bad.
Because
not too bad.
I started reading it, and I like your analogy about sports because I'm a sports guy. Born and raised in
I
Dallas.
read it, but I don't remember it.
Oh, you don't? Like the sports stuff.
So I think
like,
it confused me.
she's like, what's a bench?
I know that. That means that you're like out of the game.
Yeah. So what does that mean to you?
So the
Mercedes?
funny thing about it is I don't watch sports at all.
What?
But I
Oh
thought
my
I would get
gosh.
a lot of men's attention.
Oh my gosh, you did. Hook, line, and sinker for sure. Like I got it.
I
Like,
got you.
Zorric was like, I'm falling in love with you with every word that you're using.
chewing on every word.
I said ball.
Oh.
No, I just knew we'd get a lot of men's attention. I actually
Yeah.
have more male readers than females.
Oh.
because of
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, so that was the whole idea behind it.
Interesting. I
that's-
like that.
So that's cool. So you spent a lot of time trying to figure out the name, right?
Yes.
It was
I
like this
read
and
that.
that and
Yeah,
this
that
and
was
that.
that was funny to me.
It's like 3 pages full of just names. And I called
Yeah.
my best friend. I was like, what about this? And she was like, you sound desperate. And so I sat for like an hour and I was like, what do I want out of this? And I'm like, a better half. And what is this like? A draft. So I was like, why not the better half draft? So that's how it
Yeah.
came to light.
Dudes, we
Nice.
just eat that up. Like seriously,
Yeah,
the draft, like
sure.
like NFL draft.
Oh,
NBA
I
draft.
totally thought like a writing draft, not
But-
like a.
That's explained in the very first draft. It can
Yeah.
it can go both
Yeah.
ways.
I wasn't thinking like a sports draft.
Or like a draft in your house,
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that either.
or like
Definitely.
like a military draft.
Oh my gosh.
It could
This
be
word
any
has
kind
so
of
many
draft.
like meanings.
Yeah.
Like my mind is being blown away right now.
You just have to reread my first blog post. It explains both a writing draft and a sports draft.
I did, but the writing one stuck with me the most.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
I might
after
have blocked the sports one out.
yeah, all we talk about, Emma, or all she talks about is soccer.
Talk about football.
Yeah, football, like
Football.
soccer.
The real soccer.
So
Yeah.
when did you discover boys? Like when were you interested?
2nd grade.
2nd grade.
Ooh.
Were they like, oh, she wrote that novel. Let's go pick
She
her
wrote
up."
that poem about that boy that was sitting behind
Ooh.
her.
Oh,
She's
he was
famous.
just really cute. He didn't notice me, but we actually kept in touch. until college. And then I
Oh.
finally made the confession. He was helping me work on a project. And I was like, I've had a crush on you since the 2nd grade. It was like, I would have never known.
So where did you grow up in, Mercedes?
I grew up in Colorado.
Okay.
Yes, born and raised. So I lived in Dallas, or I've been in Dallas for the last 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was the altitude like a change?
No, it's just
No.
really hot here.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Very, very hot. And there's no skiing here, right? Have you been skiing before?
I'm black. No.
Oh.
I go to cabins. Like I'll drink hot
Okay.
chocolate, but I don't want to be cold on purpose or
I
like
gotcha.
injure myself because I'm clumsy. So I would like fall off of the
Okay.
mountain. So no, I don't ski.
I am like you, not
Yeah.
black, but I understand like wanting to be in the cabin,
Yeah.
not being like purposely cold.
Yeah.
Colorado.
So you and I should go to a cabin together,
we should.
and
I'll be skiing, and you guys can just like whatever inside
We'll
the
watch
cabin.
you. We'll have wine.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit by the fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that fire warm me up.
We'll be dry.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking.
Perfect.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So did you? So you went to high school in Colorado.
Yes.
And then you went to college here in the.
No. So I went to college. I started off at Florida A&M University.
Okay.
Then I had a surprise baby in my belly.
Mhm.
So I moved back home and I
Okay.
finished at Metro State University
Okay.
in
Okay.
Denver. Yeah.
So on that note, so how is it dating as a single parent in Dallas?
It's not hard at all.
Okay.
I
Oh.
thought that would be like if I needed an excuse to get away from a man, like, oh, I have a child, but they don't care. I mean, we're in that age range where it's like
Right.
you either have kids, you've been married, so they kind of accept it.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit more normalized.
Yeah, but
Versus like in your 20s when you're like, oh, fire, get away.
yeah, I was scared to tell people,
Yeah.
but they didn't care.
Because like Emma, I think like the men you meet, do they have kids, or is it kind of half and half, or?
No, I date childless men.
Oh, you do.
So do I.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I date both. I don't have a preference, but I feel like more than half of the ones are either on dating apps are either like nurses or they have a kid.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah. So do you go on Tinder, Bumble?
I meet people organically.
Organically?
Oh, tell us the secrets, Mercedes.
That's
I
not
don't
real.
know. I meet people everywhere. But actually, one of my closest friends signed me up on Tinder last Wednesday.
Ooh.
And so as it started picking up likes, she sent me the link, or she sent me a text, and she was like, look, you have 99 plus likes. Here's the password. Check it out. So I was like, I'll keep it up for a week. I'll entertain these people, and then I'm shutting it down.
Oh, so she created a profile on her
she
phone
did.
for you.
Yes. So there's like nothing on my profile besides a picture, my name, and my age. That's it.
Huh. We should have played a game with her.
We should have.
next time.
Aw,
Yeah.
Bummer.
But we have a game where we kind of read the bios to you, and you swipe left or right just based on the bio, because it's not all about the looks.
Oh, I'm a fake Tinder user. Like I don't. I've just been looking at pictures.
Okay. I got you.
I'm that kind of reader.
I do that too. Like I look at pictures, and if I like what I see, then I'll read the profile.
Yeah.
So I was really like, there was no winning or losing in the other game, but like if there was, I would have lost majorly.
Yeah.
I swiped left a lot.
Yeah. Wait, so back to the childhood crush. Whatever
Oh,
happened to
yes.
that? Did that
Nothing.
never ever?
He wasn't my crush as an
Uh-huh.
adult. Just 2nd grade. It was intense.
Okay.
She just lost it for that good year, solid school year.
Yeah, I was pretty boy crazy, but like I said, boys didn't like me. I was a tomboy until maybe 9th grade. And then I was like, boys don't like other boys or girls that are like boys. So I need to change a little bit. So I started changing how I dress. I got my unibrow wax, got my hair done. Became a
Yeah.
girly girl.
So you changed for the men.
Not for the men.
For herself. Come on, Emma.
I was growing up.
You were growing up.
Yes,
Okay.
instead
okay.
of going left, I went right. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
that happened.
first boyfriend. When did that happen?
Ew, I was
Oh.
14. This is my child's father, so this is a whole other next time podcast. Older than me, because I was anti-boyfriend. I'm like, if you have a boyfriend, you have to have sex with him. So I didn't want a boyfriend, but then he came along.
Wait, you don't want to have sex though? Is that the
At
thing?
14.
At 14, yeah.
At 14, no.
Yeah.
And no. Safe sex.
Well, boys, Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not girls yet.
Yeah, so that was my only thought. Like, if you have
Right.
a boyfriend, you have to have sex. So I didn't want to have sex, and then I got this boyfriend. So we were together 4 years, and then I got pregnant.
Okay. Yeah, I think when you're younger, it's like you don't know what to do yet.
Right.
You know, you're kind of like learning the ropes with dating and men.
And you have all these misconceptions too, like whether male or female, right? Like,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, oh no, red
Right.
flags everywhere.
everywhere, but you're just like so naive and so new to it that you're just like, I love him.
Yeah.
He completes me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or she completes me. I can't live without her.
Uh-huh.
It was that way until I turned 17. I was like, something's wrong with this person,
Uh-huh.
but it was too late.
Okay, so back to organic, not Whole Foods, but meeting men organically.
Oh yes.
How do you meet these men organically? Just at the bar or at the
randomly.
restaurant or
Walking
work?
down the street, in the grocery store, met men at church,
Yeah.
anywhere. If I go out to a
So-
bar, a club.
So if I was like at a coffee shop
Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh.
and you were standing in front of me and I kind of tapped you on the shoulder, I said, "Hey, is that space pants you're wearing?" Because your ass is out of this world. No, that would not work.
Like, thank you.
No, but okay. So if I was at Starbucks with you, oh man, I can just approach you and say, "How's it going?
Yeah,
How you doing?
yeah.
What kind of work do you do?"
I'm very open.
Yeah.
I like meeting new people. I'm very much an introvert, but I also like meeting people at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, because it's funny because you say that you like to meet people organically.
Yeah.
For men, it's so hard to approach women. I mean, that's, my buddies.
It has to be so nerve-wracking.
It is because, like, if I come up to you, you can say no, and I'm like, oh
For
shit.
sure.
Yeah, and my heart hurts, and I cry the rest of the night.
That's
and
usually me.
I watch The Notebook, and I go to sleep.
I prefer it that way. And I
Yeah.
also approach men too. So
Oh, okay.
it goes both ways.
Oh.
I need to
Yeah.
hang out with Mercedes.
Yeah.
I am like
should.
questioning my life.
There's
What are
a
you doing on
wing woman.
Saturday?
Yeah. So
Hanging out with you now.
so anywhere you said,
Anywhere.
church.
Yes. Those are the creepiest.
What has been the yes. I think we were just having this conversation earlier when someone acquaintance that we have, right, was talking about how one of the places that she wants to meet men is at church, and I was like, well, I kind of question that.
The worst.
I think women. Oh my gosh, this is my
Are you about to shoot yourself on the foot?
Go ahead.
Stop while you're
I
ahead.
want to sidestep that.
No, say it. Shoot yourself on the foot now.
That one.
What? No.
Okay, so church
Yes.
is a yes or a no?
No.
No. How about like a funeral home? I'm kidding.
Hell no.
Actually, I know someone that they're gonna hate me when they won't. I don't know.
Do they
But
work
anyway.
with? No, colleague.
They're one of my sister's friends, and
Okay.
that's giving too much information because he's gonna know I'm talking about him. But oh well, come at me, bro, later. He met his current girlfriend at a funeral.
That's awkward. Did you
That
like
is-
the way she was crying, or?
I don't know. I think that was the same question that my sister asked me later. I was like, was he attracted to the way that she was crying? And
It's probably like, girl, that black dress on you is so sexy.
so it's like, I mean, black is swimming.
As they're in the line to
It just reminds me of Wedding Crashers when they Will Ferrell's picking up women at the funeral, you know.
No, that's a no.
I don't even know a good pickup line. How would I even pick up a woman?
Hey,
I'll be like,
hey, girl, let me comfort you, girl.
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
I would just be like, so.
Do you want to get a cup of coffee later?
Or
Yeah.
your makeup's way better than that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Do you guys use the same makeup person? That is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, I know a couple.
Okay, we'll check that off the list because I've never heard that before. Meeting at a funeral home.
Yeah, I have.
Do you do you go to the gym or yoga
I
or
fake workout.
Fake
So that's one of my blog posts. I had a trainer.
Oh,
I had one too. I love you, Jasmine. I miss you.
But did Jasmine hit on you?
No, Jasmine is a straight woman with 3 kids.
It's okay.
I did end up going to a female trainer afterward, so don't have a male trainer that's hot. I was distracted.
So how did that happen? So as you're not really putting it all your effort into each rep, you're just kind of talking.
Well, I met him out. I was like my birthday weekend. He stopped me. We talked for a while, exchanged pictures, but we never went on a date. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, I'm just really busy. And I'm like, you're a trainer, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
Don't you have flexibility?
Next Saturday, we can have a session. He was like, well, I don't date my clients. I'm like, totally fine. I had ulterior motives anyway. So, put on my tightest workout pants, cleavage bearing shirt, showed up for my first session, and he's like, way too professional.
Oh.
You liked me when I had like boobs out and short skirt. Like what? So I faked worked out for like 6 months. And then I was like, look, I only work out once a week with you, honestly. Like, what's happening here? So those are our dating sessions.
So he didn't get the hint?
So you spent money for 6 months fake working out so this dude could ask you on a date?
Yeah. And he was like, when we finally talked about it, because I was so frustrated, he was like, well, you didn't like hit on me or act like you liked me. I'm like, what was I supposed to do? Like stick my butt out more, like drop the weight. Like, I don't know. I did all but literally throw myself on him, I should say.
Yeah. I think most of us are number one scared and we're just aloof. We're just stupid sometimes.
You guys are very stupid.
We don't even know. Some of us can't tell.
But it's not that I was just dropping hints. I would blatantly tell him. But he was just like in the corner, so I had to let him go.
But would he get in trouble at work or?
I mean, we trained at his apartment.
Oh, even.
Oh my gosh! What?
I know he worked at a legit gym, but I couldn't afford those rates, so we worked at his apartment, and he still was really professional.
And he still didn't think that you were okay. There's there's something wrong with him then.
Wait, does he like women?
Yeah, I thought he had a girlfriend at one point, but he never confirmed or denied, so...
Because that would be the biggest aphrodisiac, training a woman,
I feel like Zorric's getting ideas right now,
I'm
my gosh,
I've been
have an
writing this
icon
down.
women.
And I'll be like, let's go to my place, and maybe we can, I don't know,
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it would not be like that. It would be kind of like this. Yeah. Anyways, so Emma is just staring me down.
I am.
Wish everyone could see your face.
Okay, so the trainer didn't happen.
No.
And so, what's because you've written a lot about your dating life.
Yes, a lot.
What's your worst? Do you have a worst date?
Oh, yeah. That's the 17-minute date. I literally was on a date for 17 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So my best friend, been best friends with her for 24 years. It's her fiance's friend. And they're like,
Are you still friends with her?
Guy. Yes.
Okay.
Best friend.
Okay, good.
Okay.
But so friendship was not over.
No, I thought she hated me by introducing us, but we talked about it. But anyway, they're like, it's a great guy. You'll love him. He's really funny. Show me a picture. I'm like, not really my type, but I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, what was wrong with the picture? Was he?
He was.
Did he have a fish in his hand?
No,
Was he shirtless?
Didn't have that hot and heavy. Oh my God, I need to rip my clothes off when I see him.
Right. It was just kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I take back pictures, so I need to see him in person. So we spoke for 2 weeks on the phone. It was great. I was like, okay, he's kind of dorky.
Was he pretty talkative? Did you guys talk about cool things?
Yeah, he overpowered the conversation, but that was okay. He took the lead. Mm-hmm. So it comes time to meet, and it's Christmas Day.
Wow.
And we're supposed to go on a date the next day.
Oh my
gosh. He texted me. He was like, I can't do this. And I'm like, what? And he was like, I just can't go on a date with you. And I'm like, why? What did I do?
Yeah.
And he was like, you're just very pretty. I'm like,
oh, he's nervous. Very nervous.
Do you look like Quasimodo?
No, he wasn't that bad. He had an underbite, but that's okay. He has braces now. But yeah, he was like, and I'm like, are you serious? Are you drunk? And he was like, no, I just think you deserve someone better, an athlete. And I'm like,
low self-esteem.
what? And I'm like, what have I been telling you? Like, what energy have I been putting off for you to think that? So I was like, you know what? Like, if you don't want to, it's fine. He was like, okay, how about you just come meet me right now? I need to talk to you in person. I was like, okay, that's fine.
That's a little ominous.
Very weird.
Yeah.
I had on like sweats. My hair was in like a raggedy ponytail. I had on a jacket. I was like, you know what? He thinks I'm like this prissy girl. I'm going to show up like this, and he's not going to think that of me. So we met at Applebee's. Oh. So, yeah, first date, Applebee's. So, you know, I get there. I walk in, and he doesn't recognize me. So I'm like, yeah, it's me, Mercedes, you know, that girl in the picture. So he's like, okay. So they show us to our table, and right away, something was off. And I was like, are you drunk?
Oh, no.
And he's like, no, I'm just really nervous.
Oh. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Is this mood music?
Yeah, it's mood music.
So we're at Applebee's. Yeah. And the waiter, like, he takes our order, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, everything's okay? And he's like, no, everything's fine. I just need to talk to you. And he was like, you know, Brittany. And I'm like, Brittany? My name is Mercedes. And so he just starts like talking about this relationship he's been in, and he's been really hurt, and he shouldn't have gone on a date with me because he's really like nervous and hasn't gotten over her. And he just kept saying like how pretty I was, and I didn't deserve him, or he didn't deserve me. And it just goes on. And I'm like, you're drunk. Let me like call you an Uber. I'm just going to leave. Like, first impressions are everything. I'm just going to remove myself. We can try this again another time. He's like, no, I'm fine. So I'm like finding an Uber for him. Yeah. And before I could get the Uber, he says, you know what I want to do to you right now.
Oh no.
But he didn't whisper it like I just did.
Oh my
We're in
gosh.
the restaurant. So he said something very inappropriate, which is on my blog. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I was like, can you just please sit down? Because at this point, he's standing, and he's like making me nervous. And he made the waiter nervous. And I'm like, can you just please sit down? I'll call you an Uber, and we can leave, and I'll forget about this. And he was like, okay. And then right after that, he said something even worse, but even louder. So I just got up and walked out the restaurant, and haven't spoken to him since. Yep, it had something to do with that.
Yeah. 17 minutes.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I called my best friend immediately, and I'm like, what the hell?
But she knew everything, right?
She did, but she didn't know that side
the
of him.
extent.
The extent.
Yeah.
And then she goes into, he may have had a drinking problem last year, but I thought he had gotten over it. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I called her fiance, and he had a talking with him. So yeah, that was
Well, I'm glad you two are still friends.
We are. I actually was stupid and let him take me on a second redeem himself date months later.
Oh, so this is perfect for what we're about to talk about later.
So did he? So tell us about it.
Well, we went. He was like, pick the restaurant you want. So I was like, I'll pick the most expensive restaurant I can think of, just to tell him I'm not that into you. So we went to Nick and Sam's. He told them that it was our anniversary. There's roses on the table. I'm like, you're weird, but I'm just here for the food. Yeah. Yeah, I told him it wasn't going to work out, but thanks for the great date. And we parted ways.
Wow.
He apologized, but.
Did he try to kiss you? Or touch you? Or grab your hand?
The initial date, he did try to kiss me.
Drunk? Did you smell?
Yeah. No, he like kind of licked, but I he dodged him.
Oh, he wanted to French kiss you.
I don't know what that was. I was really grossed out.
Oh my gosh. That's a bad date, Emma.
That is
Have you
a
heard?
Horrible date.
I don't think I've ever heard anything worse than that. 17.
I don't think I have anything.
I've had catfishes before. I mean, that's like the worst. Like they come in where they're just
No, I think
not.
Mercedes has like won the worst date trophy so far.
I think so.
I think so. No, he's actually not the worst. But in this dating realm, Dallas, yes. I actually went on a date where the guy took me to sell drugs.
Wow. That's pretty bad too.
Oh,
I didn't know what was happening, but I got an idea after the fourth house, and I was like, "Can you just take me back to my car?" Thanks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
It gets worse.
Well,
so like, where would you want a man to take you out? Like, is there like not Applebee's? It looks like maybe not Nick and Sam's. Maybe like somewhere in the middle. Like, what's appropriate?
In the middle. So I like being outdoors, not in like 110-degree weather, but ideally like just in a nice park. Can pack a picnic or something.
Okay, that's pretty romantic.
So you could go to like Clyde Warren.
Yes, I love Clyde Warren or like White Rock Lake.
Yeah.
Just so we can enjoy one another.
Man, I hope you're out there listening. If you're interested in Mercedes, please
number
email her
is.
later. We will have her link of her blog posted. So if you're interested, feel free to make sure you meet all of her requirements before you do anything. Really? Are you kidding me? God, I feel like I can't say anything anymore. I hate you so much. Like,
Kind of sexy. Emma was really sexy when she said that. Anyways.
And then you ruined it. That's what happened. You jerk.
Okay. So what are you looking for in a man? Like,
Yeah. What are you hoping you get? Men, start taking notes.
The best man ever?
yeah. Like, what are you looking
What
for?
is that? Who is
Is
that?
it values? Is it like a type? Is it like
Definitely.
education,
I just
money?
learned I had a type. But no, I just need someone with a big heart, someone who's just really honest and open, because I'm very, very open. So I expect someone to be the same for me, because I'm actually really accepting. Just tell me. Someone who's very funny, someone who's very sweet, someone who loves kids, because I have a teenage daughter.
Right.
So who would accept her as their own, someone who's spiritual. I'm not like all about looks. I like fall in love with someone's heart and their personality. So show me that first, and everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
It could all be so simple, but people make it hard.
That's true. We do.
Which actually relates to what we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
About knowing yourself
Yep.
and second chances.
I'm not going to talk anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. You sit in that. Sit in that uncomfortableness, Zorric.
This is what happens, Mercedes.
I think you guys need therapy, couples therapy.
I am a couples therapist.
We probably need couples therapy. Okay. What do we have?
What about like? Can I mention that fact that you've been to the Emmys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, Mercedes. I want some more detail because I read on the blog and I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah. So I went to the Emmys September 2015.
Nice.
So I happen to go on dates everywhere I go. So I met this guy while on vacation in Vegas. Wasn't expecting anything. My sister was being a Debbie Downer. Wanted to hang out. I met him the night before.
Is your sister younger or older?
She's older and
Okay.
married, so she doesn't like the, party scene.
Right. So she wants to like, her good night is like having
A glass of wine and
In
watching,
bed,
like,
yeah.
Real Housewives.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
that
we're
is
on
my beautiful ideal night
vacation.
too.
Absolutely not. So I met
Not on
him-
vacation, not on
No.
vacation,
Yeah.
but
I
at
was
any
like-
regular night.
Yeah, I was like wasted when I met him. All I needed was like a
Nice.
chair to sit in, and he happened to have like a lot of seating around him. So I'm like, hey, can I sit next to you? That's all. That's my only intention. And I had my back to him the whole time. So he starts talking to my sister because I'm like partying, enjoying my life. And he's showing her pictures of all the celebrities he's hung out with. I'm like, this guy's definitely peacocking. But I'm minding my business a little bit. And so she was like, yeah, he likes you. And I'm like, and so? So at some point through like my 5th shot of something, I give him my phone number. Don't realize that I did until the next day when he's like texting me like, where are you? And I'm like, and who are you? So I blindly go meet this man. We set up a date, and it ends up being with all of the producers for his TV show that he works on.
Whoa.
Yeah, ultra intimidating. But everyone's like side-eyeing me at the table, like,
Nice.
who's this girl?
Who is she? Like, why is she here?
Yeah, because he's like literally like 4'9"
Oh
little
my gosh.
ginger man.
Ginger man.
Yeah, I call him Leprechaun. Not my type at all. But, you know,
Yeah.
I like meeting people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not close-minded. So we didn't really talk that often. He would tell me how interested he was in me. And I'm like, the feeling's not mutual, but we can be friends. And then one day I got a call and he's like, our show got nominated for an Emmy. Do you want to be my date? And I'm like, are you serious? We don't really talk.
I'm waiting for the show name.
I'm interested to know, no, I'm going to ask off air. Sorry, y'all.
I mean, I can tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's for the Wahlburgers.
Oh, Marky Mark
Yeah.
and the Funky Bunch.
So he's one of the producers on that show. Really sweet guy. Just dating wise, he's just not my type. So I was like, as long as I'll be your date, as long as there's no strings attached, you don't want like a happy ending afterward, or you don't think there's gonna be one. Like I'll probably pat you on the back and take my flight.
So can we find you in pictures?
Yes.
What?
I'm going to Google.
Ask Mr. Google.
It was the Creative Arts Emmy. So I don't know how many pictures there actually are. But I have pictures in my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you feel any type of attraction?
None.
Was he smart? Was he,
Yeah.
witty,
Yeah.
interesting?
But I mean, it's not all physical, but then it kind of is.
Well, there's a level, right? It has to
It
be
is.
this bar, but he doesn't have to be this high. But it just needs to meet a
But
minimum.
he was literally like this high. Like he was very short.
I
He's
found
like
it.
a toddler. But he was very, very sweet.
He said toddler.
Yeah. Like I'm only 5'5".
Okay,
He
okay.
was shorter than me.
I got you.
But even while we were at the Emmys,
I think you're
dinner-
hitting on Zorric's insecurities too.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry.
I'm like the
You're
tallest man
taller.
in the. Oh, okay.
And you're not a
fine.
ginger weird man either. But at the dinner, all his friends were coming up to the table while he was away, and it's like, so what's the story? And I'm like, it's not like a pretty woman kind of story. Like I'm not a prostitute. Like we legitimately met in Vegas, and he asked me to come, and here I am. So
Yeah.
I got that often. There's me.
Wow. So
There it is.
can we put this on? Can we put this up?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you look great in that picture.
Yes, you
that
do.
wasn't my Emmy's dress. That was the night before at the dinner.
Oh.
You are towering over him,
Yeah.
like 4 inches, 5
Yeah.
inches.
That is so cool.
It
Yeah.
is. I had the time of my life. Sweetest man ever. We met in Austin after that, but I had to tell him this is just friends. It kind of broke his heart, so we haven't spoken since. But I was very honest the entire time.
I feel like you're honest in a sense that if you like somebody, you're honest, and you
Right.
don't like, and which that's unheard of.
yeah, I don't
Right.
like leading anyone on because I don't want someone to do that to me.
Yeah. I mean, in the day and age of like ghosting and just disappearing. on people,
Zombieing later.
It's just not cool.
No.
No.
Look at all these beautiful attributes. We're just gonna showcase you, Mercedes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're like, let me find love.
That's all I'm looking for.
And then when we meet men, we'll be like, oh, we have the perfect lady for you.
Yes, which I had told Mercedes originally to come to your singles mixer that you had at Halcyon a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have another mixer next week,
Oh.
but it's for people who just moved here.
I'm probably in Canada, so.
Oh, bummer.
Canada, washroom. What's in Canada?
Caravana. That's why I'm going.
Caravana.
Yeah.
They have I'm gonna say it, poutine.
Crickets.
They have
They have tea.
they have
They have people.
people
They
and
have a prime minister.
Their flag is red and white.
They
Yeah.
have maple syrup.
they have maple syrup. They
I
have
have family in
Mounties.
Canada.
They speak French in Quebec.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Everything's in French in Quebec. Except for major road signs. Those are in English too. They're half and half.
Yeah,
They have the
I look
Grassi.
really confused.
I've been there before. Like
Have
10
you?
times, literally 10 times.
It doesn't seem like it right now.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So obviously, Mercedes has said that she gives her dates a second chance.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but some of them.
Yes.
Zorric, you have also given some dates a second chance.
Yeah, I have. It never works out because the last text I got was pretty brutal.
Is this recent?
This was like a month and a half ago,
Oh my.
and she was like, "I'm done with you. That's the truth."
Is it the one that you told me about?
Well, it's like we dated last year,
Okay.
and then she like messaged me again a few months ago. We went out again. It seemed great, but the thing is, to me, I feel like if it doesn't work out the first time, it's not going to work out the second time.
Amen.
To me.
Right, but this article by Cassandra Brabau. Sure. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I'm so sorry.
Ba.
My Spanish sometimes comes out and I have to like read like syllables, and it's very literal in Spanish and it's not in English. So I'm sorry. This is an article from Refinery 29, and it's called "Should You Give an Old Tinder Date a Second Chance?" And so, they interviewed Samantha Burns, who is a dating coach and author of Breaking Up and Bouncing Back. And she says that a lot of times, like, whatever turned you off from the person, if it was like poor communication skills, lack of attraction, or mismatching values, like, will still be a problem. However, if you didn't give them like enough time or attention, then it could be worth it for you to try out things again.
Yeah, so she talks about like mismatched lifestyles. So like, if my date is a serial killer, I'm not. So I mean,
like Dexter, so like, are you dating like Dexter at this point?
Obviously, Dexter is just not a match for me. Or maybe she likes to work, and I hate working. Mismatched lifestyles. So I mean, it's just those are my things. So the thing also is. When you meet the first time, there could be a lot of things that are going on in your life.
Right.
Like you're saying, Mercedes, you moved here 5 years ago.
Yes.
When you moved here, what were you doing? Were you focusing on dating?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I just got out of a relationship. I was starting a new life. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend who I hung out with over the weekend. You know who you are because you're probably listening. And if you want me to say your name, you should have told me. You need to just tell me from now on anytime you disclose anything if I can say your name online. And so she told me that like she went on this date with someone, and her grandma had just passed away, and it was a really difficult time for her. And she's like, I was crying all the way to the date, and then she's like, and so I was like red faced, like just like grieving, and then I had to go on this date with this person, and she was like, so it wasn't the best impression ever. And she was like, and I don't know if I would date this person again.
Yeah.
Because I think part of it's like it is a little bit embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Mercedes, you went on that date.
Yes.
On Christmas Day.
Yes.
And you had a bad first impression.
I can't believe he ruined your Christmas. What's wrong with him? At Applebee's. At Applebee's on Christmas. Jesus' birthday.
Exactly.
I know.
Just stayed at home.
And then the second date, you knew already, right?
Yeah.
You knew.
I knew. But I told him this. So it's not like he was in the dark. Yeah.
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 I just got tired of him like messaging me on every social media.
Holy.
Because I blocked him. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not
Oh.
a crazy person. I'm not mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give you this last time
Right.
to apologize in person. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't go. So Mercedes couldn't date when she moved here, right?
Right.
And so the article, talks about things that I think what she's really alluding to is like dating must be your priority if you really want to date.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be going through like a life change. You can't be going through a move or even a breakup. Like you said, the guy was just recently single.
Priority in what way? Because I never feel like I get like spurts of brain power. I'm like, dating is gonna be my priority. Woohoo! And then I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole like phases we go through. We talked about that.
We've spoken before, but like, let me be honest. Like, dating is not always gonna be like my first priority. Like, waking up and going to work is gonna be my first priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotta balance it out.
So, how much of a priority does dating need to be in my life for me to be successful, Zorric?
I think work should be. Work is like.
Work is work.
Work is like 25%, and then dating is maybe another 25%, and friends 25%, and this podcast is 25%.
Oh when do I have free time by
You
myself?
don't. You don't.
Don't.
Why?
Just bring your dates to the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh.
should be
All
sitting
right.
right here in Indian style,
All
taking
right.
notes.
All right, boy or man who wants to date me. These are the strings that are attached to me dating and being a part of a crazy Hispanic family. Thank you.
So, okay, Emma, talk to me about, so whenever you're busy and you don't prioritize dating, it talks about not giving this person a fair shot.
Right. But she also does mention, so like Samantha Burns also mentions that like when you're giving this person a second chance, like you have to be able to answer the question of why didn't it work out the first time around and then justifying the answer. So like what was actually happening to you that it didn't work out or what was happening?
So Mercedes, can you answer that question? You said you didn't feel it for the guy.
Yeah, I wasn't physically attracted to him initially.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything just went downhill from there. Just seeing him in person, drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a turn off though.
Huge turn off.
Yeah, I think that's a major red flag.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
know. I talk about that on my blog too. Sometimes there are warning signs and
Yes.
I don't know how to read sometimes. So I just walk into them. But yeah, I try to be nice and give people chances because I would hope that someone would not like
Judge you,
discount me
yeah.
or judge me off of a bad time. So I don't know. I give second chances.
Well, if that does happen, she says it's worth to like revisit whether or not you have chemistry. But then also like if you're relying too much on chemistry, then I struggle with this because I feel like we are sort of
Closed-minded.
no, not closed-minded, but we're not brainwash is not the right word either. Goodness, I can't think today. But like we're made to think that like it's gonna be chemistry from the beginning, and it's gonna be beautiful. And
Like
it's
a
gonna
fairy
be,
tale,
yeah, it's
like
gonna
a
be this
Notebook or
beautiful
something.
moment, yeah, where it's like, whoa, and we knew in the moment that we locked eyes, we were gonna be meant for each other,
Well,
and that's not true.
It's not. I entered in a situationship.
A what?
A situationship.
I like that.
That's another podcast.
I'm gonna write this word down.
You should.
Situationship.
But I wasn't initially attracted to him until the third date. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I really like this man. So, I mean, when I go into dating now, I kind of have that mindset. Like, it probably won't be butterflies and daisies the first time, but give it time.
And that's exactly what it says, that a lot of people are not thinking about how attraction grows over time because you're becoming more emotionally intimate. A lot of times, like, again, we think that we need like those fireworks from the beginning in order to have like a long lasting relationship, when that's not the reality of things.
Yeah. Like the fairy tale. That's what I think about. Like when we meet the person, right, Emma, and you lock eyes, and oh my gosh, I feel so great, I'm happy, and then that's really unrealistic because that usually does not happen.
Which
and that's
is
lust, right?
That's lust.
Lust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I wish arranged marriages were something that Hispanic people did, because I know that my mom and my sister would like pick a man that like I would, if I wasn't like initially attracted to him, like I know that like eventually like things would happen. Because my mom and my sister know exactly what I want and I don't want. My mom, like I don't want to trust her, but like at the end, like I know that I could trust her.
Yeah. And so it's just also here that attraction can grow over time.
Yes.
What do you guys think about?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like when you buy a shirt, and at first you're questioning it, like, do I actually like
I like
this
this
shirt?
analogy already. Go ahead.
And then you like try the shirt in the dressing room, and you're like, it hits me in the right places, but I'm not sure if I like the color 100% yet.
Yeah.
But you're like, you know what? Like, it makes me look good, so I am going to buy this shirt. And then you buy the shirt, and then you wear the shirt out, and people are giving you compliments about the shirt, and you're like, yes, this shirt was meant for me. Therefore, I made a good purchase when I bought the shirt.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah. So it took you time
Yep.
to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And then I want a ring on it.
but you gave it time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think for men, for you, Mercedes, is that the same thing? Like it takes, like you said, the third date,
Yeah.
you became attracted to his brain or
Just
his self
everything
in general.
about him. Like even physically, initially, I wasn't attracted to him, but the
Yeah.
third
Really?
date, I was like hot and heavy.
And I think that happens because you
Yeah.
start finding, like, instead of focusing on the things that you don't like about this person, you start figuring, oh, like, look, they have a little dimple when they smile. I didn't notice it on the
Yeah.
first date. Or they're like, they have little like laugh lines behind their ear. That makes them look so adorable, you know?
Or he likes picnics, or he likes
Yeah.
outdoors.
Or in Zorric's case, oh, look, his eyebrows are like perfect every time I see him.
Yeah, there's no unibrow. I get a lot of compliments on my eyebrows, by the way.
You're good
You
eyebrows.
also have really nice teeth.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna. I love teeth.
Yeah,
You have really nice.
that's. I think we talk about this all the time. Smile. So, what's the first thing you notice on a guy?
Their teeth.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Every man I've ever dated has beautiful teeth.
Do you look at shoes?
Yeah. Well, smile, then fingernails.
Fingernails.
If they're dirty, no go.
What are your thoughts on that, Emma?
What, fingernails?
Yeah.
I don't need dirt in them.
Okay. What if he's like a mechanic?
I don't give a crap.
That's
There's
okay.
stuff to wash it.
Wash your hands.
Okay.
You don't see me with dirt in my nails after
No.
I garden.
No, but I agree. I think fingernails, even on a woman.
Yes.
Like I had a date 2 weeks ago.
Like,
Not
do you
2
like
months
this
ago.
right now? Like, do you like this?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Okay.
I do. It looks great.
Beautiful.
Jerk.
No matter what I say, Emma's gonna give me this look.
It's fun. Isn't it fun?
It's fun.
Okay.
That's great. What's going on? Okay.
All right, get to your point. You went on a date a few weeks
Oh.
ago with this woman who didn't have her fingernails done.
Yeah, and her. She
Well,
might
not
be listening.
done or chipped polish.
No, there's like stuff in it,
Ew.
like in her nails, and her
Oh.
car was dirty.
Like the inside or the outside?
The inside was dirty, like
Oh.
literally like
Like
filthy.
filthy? Oh.
Like it was really bad, and that's like a boner killer. Sorry guys, a boner killer.
She doesn't wash her hands often.
Yeah, so
That's weird to me.
yeah.
I need that hand. People at work make fun of me because I'm like, I need that hand sanitizer. I need those Clorox wipes to clean.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you ran into, Mercedes, being emotionally intimate, and that's why you liked him on the third date.
Yes.
Yeah. And what happened after that, by the way?
And the fourth podcast we're gonna have with. So if you guys read my blog post Radio Silence, that's about him.
Oh.
So we're gonna have a 4, maybe 5-part podcast series with Mercedes in the future. I hope that you are all enjoying what she is saying at this moment, because it will be very provocative and entertaining.
We'll make sure she has
Beautiful.
lots of wine.
Yes, we'll make sure we provide
Yeah.
lots of wine, whatever she wants. So Burns basically saying like, but we've been talking about, a lot of people don't think about how attraction can grow over time, and then like that we can grow or become more emotionally intimate. And unfortunately, like we've talked about this, like when we swipe, we're thinking about like in the moment, it's very quick, it's instant gratification. We're not focusing on the delayed gratification piece,
Yeah.
right? I went to go see Mamma Mia this past weekend. It was wonderful with a friend that I was talking about, and we were joking about like the popcorn, and I was like, oh, I want to wait till the movie starts to eat my popcorn, and she's grabbing a handful of popcorn and put it in her mouth. She's like, I won't. I was like, all right. I was like, cool. But we forget that. We forget about the delayed gratification because we want everything in the moment. Unfortunately, that's what happens with technology. We want all that dopamine release. Woohoo! Right? And so sometimes we're just not giving people a chance that we're emotionally compatible with. And so what Burns says is that like sometimes maybe we need to look inward, which is totally true. Like we need to figure out like what we want out of a relationship, because if we're matching with people and it's not like nothing intimate is coming out of it and we're not being successful, then that means that we need to look into ourselves and figure out like what is it that we're putting out in the world, and what can we change for ourselves?
Yeah, and that's why I asked you, Mercedes, like, what are you looking for in a man? Because, like, if you don't know,
That's
you'll
a red
just
flag.
you'll just keep dating.
Right.
Aimlessly, yeah. But that was the purpose of my blog as well. I need to figure me out and what was the issue and why nothing was ever working out. So I'm slowly figuring it out.
And it's a lot cheaper than therapy, right?
It is. Yeah, I pay myself occasionally, but
Nice. In wine, maybe, or
in clothing.
okay. There you go.
Nice.
So Emma, like, what do you want in a man? Like, I don't think we've ever talked about this.
No, we haven't.
In like
And,
30-something odd episodes.
I hope I don't get emotional like talking about this.
Hey, take a sip before you answer.
Okay.
Take a sip.
Go, 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 go.
So, yeah, because Emma, you have to know what you want. Like, I'm like really coming to grips with what I want.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know.
Can I deflect a little bit? What do you want, Zorric?
Oh, what?
On you
I'm
now.
deflecting. I want someone that's in my age range that's ready to settle down.
Do we know how old you are since you had this rebirth?
I'm like an 81. So
I can't do math. I can't do math.
36.
Okay.
Yeah. So at 36, men, come on, men. We all want to settle down, right?
Absolutely.
Right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm hearing a cheer from the guys.
Yay!
But yeah, so
Slash girls.
but I think number one is someone ready to settle down. Number two is someone that has their own career, someone that has their own like interests, and someone that likes Downton Abbey. It's important.
I'm like on season 4 again. Like after we talked about like the movie coming out, I started rewatching and like been watching.
Yeah. That's good because it's like one of those things you can always watch.
Oh my gosh, I need a Carson in my life.
Yeah, and on top of that, like you need to know like what values you want in a person.
Absolutely.
Like, do you want this person to be religious or not religious? Like whether it's Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever you Scientology, whether it's nothing, right? Because I believe that's how you're going to raise your kids.
Right.
Right. That's the foundation for some people. I say most, but some people. But that's it. It's very vague.
All we have for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show.
It's very abrupt.
So yeah, knowing yourself is very important. What I think is that if you matched, I think I said this before, but if you've matched before, it didn't work out, then it's not going to happen
Just
again.
keep swiping.
No. Nope. Unless you're Zorric and me, because we just always constantly match on each other.
Yeah.
We do it? No, we have a pact. We have a pact. There's a group of us, of friends that like if we find each other like on dating apps, we always swipe right.
Because it's a high five.
Yeah.
It's like a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. More like a support group.
It is like a support group.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so the second time is like the Mavs trying to repeat again. I mean, they failed, right? The Mavs won the championship.
When?
Sure.
Like 2012 or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Cowboys when they won all those Super Bowls in the 90s and they haven't been able to do it since?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Which one's more painful?
The Cowboys.
All right, so the Cowboys like not winning the Super Bowl since the 90s.
Yeah.
Isn't it hasn't it the curse been since like they moved to Arlington, or has that been before?
I think it's just because we don't own the Cowboys. We need to buy the Cowboys, Emma.
Is it? Yeah, maybe. Or is it because like the dream team was gone, like Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman?
I think it's that too. It's that too. But
because Romo was. Never mind.
Romo was
not getting into it.
He was okay.
Podcast.
But I also think if so the title of this thing is should you give an old Tinder date a second chance? It's kind of like saying, do you want another dick pic?
God no.
I
never even want the first one.
Yeah, it's like you know what you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get. Like you didn't have attraction.
I don't get dick pics.
And
oh my gosh, well, lucky for you.
Only because I say that in the beginning. Like, if you send that to me, I will block you for life.
I've gotten them
gosh.
unsolicited all the time.
No.
Gotcha. So, Mercedes, what do you have? Like, what's your takeaway here?
What's my takeaway?
Yeah.
date freely and openly and give second chances when necessary.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
When necessary is the key clause there.
Yeah. And how can everyone reach you? How can they find you?
You can find me on thebetterhalfdraft.com or email directly at info@thebetterhalfdraft.com.
Cool.
And Emma, like, what is your takeaway?
That Mercedes and I need to hang out a lot more.
time.
Okay. How about second chances?
I guess I'll start giving them out.
You guess.
I guess.
I guess. I might have to run it by you first.
Can I? Yeah, we'll need to know the story on the air, though.
Oh. So, by the way, I'm going to give you a second chance because I'm talking about it on the air, on this podcast that I'm on. Don't listen to the podcast, but, like, just know that it's available.
Okay.
What about you?
Yes.
What about me?
What was your takeaway? By the way, I totally, like, if you guys noticed, like, I totally, like, was able to, like, not talk about, like, the deep questions Zorric asked me.
I'm trying to, like, get stuff out of you. Like, crying is great. It's great to just, you know.
Maybe when we get to 40 episodes, I might start, like, crying and opening up a little more.
We'll get.
Right now, I'm going to give you, like, therapy phase.
Okay. So the takeaway here is it depends on the situation, right?
Yeah.
It also depends on your age.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't want to give a 20-year-old
Yeah.
a chance.
Yeah, or like if you're older and maybe you're up against that clock and you want to slow down, maybe you want to rehash what happened in the past and give it a second try. Because when I was recently single 2 years ago,
Oh yeah, that
I
person.
was on a tear, guys, but I didn't give anyone a chance because I wasn't ready.
No, because she like ruined your life, so I totally
Ow.
understand.
She like took my heart.
She was
and,
the
like,
worst.
Stomped on it.
She is the worst.
Yeah, and that's my story.
Do our listeners even know like our origin story? I don't think that they do.
Oh, can we give it
think
real
I
quick?
do.
Real quick.
Real quick. All right. Do you
Okay.
want me to do it? Or
Go
do
ahead,
You?
go
okay.
ahead, Emma.
So I had a friend that I met like after high school, and
We're telling Mercedes.
we're telling Zorric. Okay, so Mercedes, I had a friend that I met after high school. So this was like almost over 10 years ago. And at first she was a very nice person. I knew her kind of like in between relationships, and all of a sudden she comes and tells me that we're hanging out one day that she met this guy that she's really into. And I was like, oh, cool, great. And she described him as he's a little short Asian man.
Did she really say that?
Yeah.
Oh my!
She used to, her nickname to you was my short Asian man.
It was in Spanish though, right? It wasn't like.
Nope, it was all English, dude.
Oh my gosh.
So I met Zorric, and I was like, Zorric's so cool. And this time, like, he was a vegetarian. I remember that very
I was.
clearly and distinctly. But Zorric was so cool that, like, whenever we would go to places, he would always order, like, the plates vegetarian and with meat for me, because he knew that I liked meat, and he knew that I was not a vegetarian. And so I always thought Zorric was cool, so we met through her. We would hang out whenever she would invite me out, and then one day, I guess I made her angry. She shunned me. Zorric wasn't allowed to contact me anymore.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. And then one day, all of a sudden, I heard they broke up, and I cackled like an evil witch. And then, because I have no shame. And then later, like, I think you reached out to me, right?
Yeah, I think we have a mutual friend, my best friend.
Yes, your best friend.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were all hanging out, and then, like, I found out that you guys had broken up, and I was, like, very happy for you, and I was like, how empowered do you feel? Because she is the worst human being in the world. And
Yeah.
I chose Zorric.
So you know how it happens, right? When you break up with somebody, like your friends pick sides.
Yeah,
So she picked the good side.
I picked the right side.
Yeah.
you did. think
I
you
picked
made a
the right
choice.
good side instead of the evil witch side.
On that note, I think
That's all we have for today. After
Till
do y'all
next
want?
time.
Hey, I'm just letting you know, if part of your comments are like, Emma needs to drink more wine so she can open up more, that's perfectly okay.
What tears
that
next
can
time.
happen.
yeah.
Tears.
I think we're at 2 bottles. I mean, almost 2 bottles.
Almost 2 bottles.
Almost.
Woohoo!
So okay.
Right.
I think that's it, Emma.
Yeah, that is all we have for today then.
Yeah.
We really hope that you enjoyed the show of
Yes.
today of all the madness but amazingness that happened.
Uh-huh.
If you have any questions, comments, or show topics that you'd like for
Did
us
we
to
talk
discuss.
about cleavage today?
No cleavage, but
Okay.
now you're mentioning it. Well, Mercedes brought it up.
Because I have plenty for the both of us.
So if you want us to talk about cleavage, leave us an email at hello@datepodcast.com, or you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Date Podcast. That's all we have.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.